Welcome to Melbourne, the southernmost city on the Australian mainland and home of the Melbourne Cup, Australia's richest horse race. Prize money this year is $1 million for the 125th running of the race that stops a nation. Since 1861, the first Tuesday of November has been the one day of the year when Australia truly has just one thing on its mind: the gruelling 2-mile handicap gallop that guarantees racing immortality for one of the 24 best stayers in the Southern Hemisphere. This year's race is not only special for the 125th anniversary and the $1 million prize money, but also for two other important reasons. 1985 sees the state of Victoria celebrating its 150th birthday with a year-long round of festivities, and taking pride of place, the visit of the Prince and Princess of Wales, for whom today's historic occasion is the highlight of their royal tour. It's also an orgy of betting. On this one 3.5-minute race this year, 15 million Australians will wager a staggering $100 million. That's nearly $7 for every man, woman and child in the country. One of the bookies' favourites, and certainly the sentimental favourite this year, is the Big Red from New Zealand, Kiwi. Kiwi scored a miracle win 2 years ago and was favoured to win again last year, until vets forced her late withdrawal amid great controversy. As shown by the last to first win in this year's Sydney Cup.
The only Australian-bred horse in the Sydney Cup, and he wins it.
Brian, it suited some and it hasn't suited others. How has the overnight rain affected your chances in the Foster's Melbourne Cup?
Well, it's an advantage to my horse, Murray, because he likes the jar out of the ground. I don't really want it heavy or anything like that, because there's about 12 others that can handle the going too, but my horse just likes the sting out of the ground.
Unlucky 13 is What a Nuisance, with the experienced Pat Hyland on board. What a Nuisance notched up the Duke of Norfolk Stakes over 3,200 metres last March, and more recently finished a gallant fourth in the Moonee Valley Cup.
John, you threw the blinkers on him in the McKinnon Stakes on Saturday. Great result.
Yes, he runs super, really. You know, he's a handicap horse and he's run a good solid fifth, late for age. What else can you wish for?
That's right, of course. You're a proven horse on the track and a proven horse at the distance.
Yes, well, he's won over 2 mile, and he's proved that he's a top handicapper. And he was probably a little unfortunate not to have won the Moonee Valley Cup.
One of the top fancies for this year's Foster's Melbourne Cup is Our Sophia, with jockey Harry White chasing a record number of Melbourne Cup wins. Our Sophia won the AJC Oaks in April, the Grand Prix at Brisbane, and was second at Tristarc in the Caulfield Cup.
Next to Our Sophia.
The Big Red, who's certainly the sentimental favourite and also one of the betting favourites, is Kiwi. Kiwi is trying to become only the 4th horse in history to win 2 Melbourne Cups. And on his recent typical win in the Watkins Dower Stakes, he looks a good bet to do just that.
Purple crowd, about a length away, third Admiral Bear.
He's gone up a little bit in weights, but he hasn't had that much racing for a horse his age.
No, he's lightly raced and he's carrying his age well.
What sort of work have you been giving him?
Oh, well, since driving in Melbourne, he's only had just a bit of pace work. Hope to gallop him before the race.
And he's eaten well and all that?
Yeah, fed well.
Trying for the prestigious Caulfield Cup Melbourne Cup double is Tristarc, running from Barrier 1. Tristarc won the AJC Derby last April and is well fancied to greet the judge today after his recent Caulfield Cup triumph.
Ross, the big morning's finally arrived.
Yes, Murray.
Tell us, how's Tristarc?
Oh, Tristarc, I couldn't...
I'm a Prince finished second in the Sydney Cup and did a Kiwi with a last to first triumph in this year's Wellington Cup.
Well, he's got to have a royal show.
Trying to continue the success of Sydney horses in the 1985 Spring Carnival. Sprightly Native is well weighted at 52.5, well drawn from Barry at 12, and recently won the important Metropolitan.
It wins the Metropolitan from a very tight
He'll be back with the tail enders. That's how he generally races early.
Dusky Legend has only ever won a maiden race, but has reached the Melbourne Cup thanks to strong second placings in New Zealand and Wellington derbies, and a good third in last week's Werribee Cup. Number 2 is Hey I, carrying jockey John Letts, who won the 1972 Melbourne Cup with his first ever ride and won by a head last time out in the Dalgety at Flemington. Corrie May. Coiro Corrie May has won 3 out of its last 4 starts, including the Geelong Cup over 2,400 metres at its first start in Australia. Slade Melbourne Cup double. Rising Prince is in good form with a win last Saturday in the McKinnon Stakes. Is the consistent stayer Fox Eel. Fox Eel finished a creditable 5th in last year's Melbourne Cup and is always up with the front runners over the 2-mile distance, as shown by his win in the Brisbane Cup earlier this year.
The horse has had a very good preparation and I'm happy with his condition, but of course it's a very tough field.
Now, of course, Rick, the question we've had to ask everyone today.
He can handle a slow track. We wouldn't like it any worse.
Foster's Melbourne. Kelly.
Well, he certainly is the class horse of the race, Phil, having won the cock.
Never seen a scene like this in the mounting yard in all the years I've been coming to Flemington, Ron Taylor.
I haven't either, Phil Gibbs. I really have not. I was just remarking to Rob Reddings there that I have never seen so many people in the mounting. The excitement here. Number 2 I'm talking about anyway. Hey I, the Caulfield Cup winner. He's just not quite at his best form, but the rain has helped his chances. Well, Kiwi knows where he is today. He's back where he won the Melbourne Cup 2 years ago, and he's been prancing and playing up to the crowd in the mounting yard. His form in New Zealand is first class, and he's going to be very hard to beat once again.
Number 5, Late Show, Jay Cassidy.
Won the Sydney Cup in the autumn, Phil. His form was quite good.
His winner, number 6 in the book, Black Knight, to be ridden by Peter Cook.
Yes, a very colourful horse, wearing those red blinkers, matching his glossy black coat. His form leading up hasn't been quite as good.
Third in the Caulfield Cup on October 19. Disappointing in the McKinnon Stakes on Saturday, but he's a strong, solid horse who should...
Yes, well, we're looking at the proud mother-to-be of the future, Mapley Heights. A pregnant mare has never won the Melbourne Cup. Can she do it? She was 3rd last year. She's a bigger and better horse this time. She's the one.
And then we have number 10, is it? Number 9, Fox Hill, P.D. Johnson.
Phil, he's been racing in just about everything. 2nd in the Metropolitan, 6th in the Cox Plate at Moonee Valley, 4th in the Dalgety. He's a solid horse. He's won over 3,200 metres. He must be a chance.
And
well, he'll be
native, Wayne Harris.
Won the Metropolitan.
The Caulfield Cup winner, the Foster's Caulfield Cup winner, Tristark, Wayne Trelaw.
Certainly one of the really true...
Distance to be ridden by Pat Hyland.
He's been running on in all his races, Phil, suggesting he'll get...
And there are the young Foster's ladies, and they'll be out at the presentation a little later on. 14, Dwynette's Girl, D. Peak.
Yes, here's another New Zealand mare, and the mares this year are really racing in form, and they look
like... everywhere today. Number 15, Our Boyfriend, M. Barnsley.
He looks like being the pacemaker in the race, Phil. Ran a bowl race, went 2nd in the Dalgety on Saturday, just cut down.
Disappointing at his last couple of runs, only.
Geelong Cup to be ridden by L.O. Sullivan.
Well, this is the one everyone's talking about now that the track is wet. Cora Corrie May won the Geelong Cup on a dead track in great style, and she will run.
It's only one race, a maiden over 1,100 metres, winning the Melbourne Cup. I can't see it.
Quinton.
He has won the Herbert Power and the Werribee Cup at 2 of his last 3 starts. Comes into the race.
This Melbourne Cup, number 21, Al Sophia, to be ridden by Cup's King Harry White.
Well, what a combination, Harry White and Al Sophia. The form book says the runner-up in the Caulfield Cup is always very, very hard to beat.
Both M. Clark.
Phil, his form is quite good, although in weaker company. But
well, this is the one that Tasmanians will be hoping for. Bred on in the Apple Isle
and finally, number 24, Butternut, Michael Riley.
She's won 2 of her last 3 starts, Phil, including the Moonee Valley Cup, which she won by a short half head from Rocky Roller. It was a great performance. It was a great performance, and Butternut could run well, but I think that her class may be telling in the closing stages.
Held at least 10,000, the biggest of holding 400,000. Soon we'll be able to see the result. At the moment, it's Al Sophia, 5-1 favourite.
Thank you very much, Murray. Well, there you have the latest on the betting details for the big one today, as the horses now prepare to move out onto the track here at Royal Flemington.
Have a shot beyond the ball and on the dot. Let's pull it together with all our weight if we're going to make Australia great. And give it all we've got.
The big race, time to start in a little over 2 minutes. We have the helicopter up there, and that is looking down onto this huge audience here at Flemington today.